I think that, you know, for the period during which I had known him well in the trade union movement, he was the leader and the person who gave a lot of inspiration to a lot of young trade unionists. As a matter of fact, I think the entire national community, you know, when it came to trade unionism, saw George Weekes as the person embodying and epitomizing the essence of trade unionism. And well, this is how I saw him myself.
Man may go, man may come, but the union will stand forever, but none going to do what George Weekes have done.
The OWTU is almost synonymous with the name George Weekes. In June 1962, George became President General of the OWTU, the most powerful and militant trade union in the country. 13 years before, in 1949, he had joined the Trinidad Leaseholds Limited as a pipe fitter. From this building, previously called the Paramount Hotel, a hotel which had once denied entry to trade unionists, Sir Grantley Adams and Nathaniel Critchlow. It was from there that George guided, nurtured, and pushed not just only oil workers, but all workers who asked for his help. He has been hailed as the greatest trade union leader in the country and the best President General of the OWTU.
And it is the first trade union leader that got 40 hours a week for the working class of this country. He also achieved for the workers, we have what you call the savings plan. You put 2% and the company put 4%, and it's the first union that ever get that. And in 1967, we got a pension plan, the first union again to get a pension plan for the working class PG. And that is why I say that Comrade PG, there is no other trade union leader as Comrade George Weekes.
Talk about honesty of purpose and talk about a man that has a zeal to see the people go forward in life. It's Comrade Weekes.
When Weekes took over the Oilfield Workers Trade Union from the rebel movement, we had two buildings, the Palms Club and 4A Lower Hillside Street, where we had an office and a printery downstairs. When Weekes left the OWTU after 25 years, we had buildings in Barakpur, in Labri, in Faizabad, in Pointe-a-Pierre, all over the country, Port of Spain, even in Tobago. And we bought 90 to 105 acres in Las Lomas, called it Spanish Farm. There we had agricultural crops and animals and all that. And they bought quite a lot of lands in Tobago. So under Weekes, the Oilfield Workers Trade Union asset rose to about $21 million. But not only that, the workers, when Weekes came in, the workers was getting about $1.50 an hour and that sort of thing. Today, in the oil industry, workers are getting over $1,000 per week. And I speak of the hourly and weekly workers. Staff gets $10,000 a month and more in some cases, all because of what Weekes has done for the workers in the oil industry. So he worked hard, very hard.
He tried, and he was a very good leader. Can't say nothing about him. If I have to say anything, all I could say about him is good.
I think of George Weekes as a labor of trade union, father of trade union, father of the workers in general, labor movement particularly.
After 25 years as President General, George Weekes finally retired from the OWTU. His love for this great union that he was honored to run for 25 years is evident here as he speaks of its birth.
As I see it, OWTU is a unique, its very birth was like that of any one of us. Blood was shed.
met after that birth in June 1937, on the 15th of July 1937, there they discussed this child that was born, as I see it, and how best they could protect, feed, and have this child grow into adulthood. That discussion in Coonstown at the residence of Mr. Williams laid the foundation for a conference that was held on July the 25th, where delegates came from all parts of the oil belt and beyond to attend to the affairs and how to give a name to this child. Because at that impromptu meeting, it was suggested as Oilfield Union, but on the 25th, delegates met and decided that they will name it the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, right? And what's so significant about it, that after the birth and the election of officers, and they decided that they will register it just like we register any child on September the 15th as the Oilfield Workers Trade Union with its rules and regulations. The leader of that explosion battle was in hiding. And so the parents, all of them got together and said that they want to protect it for the leader to return and see his child grow, right? They elected, out of so many people there, a lawyer by the name of Adrian Cola Rienzi, an East Indian, who also became the leader of all Trinidad Sugar Estate and Factory Workers Union. The oil and sugar workers got together under one leadership, and a lot of people were terrorized, and they saw that they must do something to prevent this child from growing. But the parents, the people who gave birth to this unusual child, as I see it, protected it, and they gave their lives to it. Labrador Charles and the 14 who died gave their lives to that. So no trade union could talk about that type of birth. And I was born in a village called Faizabad. Faizabad to workers, as I see it, and I've always said it, it's like what Mecca is to the Muslim community, for the Gandhis, for the Hindus, or Bethlehem to the Christians. Faizabad is that significant. That's why we every year celebrate like going to Mecca, returning to the birthplace of that child.
Over the 25 years that George Weeks sought to fight for the nationalization of the oil sector and for a better way of life for working people, he had to face jail, corruption charges, attempts on his life, and bribery. He was refused entry into some Caribbean islands, and he was banned from the print and electronic media. In him, he says, there is no hatred. There is only hope for a better way of life.
The fear that I speak from the heart, not so much from an intellectual point of view, but with that, And what I say, I mean what I believe. So they banned me from television. And when they wanted to change, they said I could be seen, but I must not be heard. And but only on television. But in the newspapers, one daily also said that they must not carry any picture of me in the Guardian, Trinidad Guardian. So although they will write a story about I and Texaco signing an agreement, no photographs were allowed. They could see that.
And you survived them all?
I survived them all, and I intend to survive many more of those who try to cut my wings or my throat. Because I believe in God, strange as some people I think. I believe in mankind. I believe there is justice, but like everything else, if you want something as important as justice and to live correctly, it is not handed down from above. You have to struggle for it, because life is a struggle. No gifts come to those who struggle. You must work hard and dedicate yourself to what you believe in if we are to go forward to a better tomorrow.
In admiration for this trade union giant, Cathra Cambon wrote, "If ever there was any trade union leader in Trinidad and Tobago who genuinely believed in the freedom, strength, and the unity of the trade union movement, it was George Weekes."
A shy person. I mean, he has changed tremendously, but that deep-seated shyness is still there. And he's a father figure, sort of dedicated to his family and everything, but the long hours, you know, it was always getting in between there, always cause you to be thinking a lot of things you shouldn't think about. So that caused a little unhappiness, you know, in your mind and so on, because you're imagining things, you're hearing things, you know, going on. Now, if you recall, he was a very popular person. A lot of people were, you know, his supporters were his support was very, very, very large. But then I always believed that not everybody was for him. And because of that, you feel like something could happen along the way. So that caused, that's where the fear came in. You had that fear with you all along, but not letting on. Because I couldn't discuss that part of it with the children. I couldn't let them know how I was feeling or anything. It wasn't going to make sense to have them wondering, because they had to be at school. They had to be out there exposed, you know. So you had to suppress all that, the deep feeling that you had. But he had, I could say he's a father figure.
Teresa Weekes is the woman behind the man, George Weekes. She has been his constant companion and support through thick and thin. She shares his vision for a better society.
You grow up in a condition where you're seeing the haves and the have-nots. You have that experience with the environment where you came from and everything, and where you grew up. And you're able to see, although you couldn't discuss it because you didn't know who to talk with, but deep within you had that feeling, well, things are not so right. So then when he started now, you know, going out to the different meetings and joining different political groups in the early days, from 1947 I'm talking about, it helped to understand, well, there's some change might take place. Something might happen now. And I went along with him wherever he went. not everywhere, but most of the places they go with him. And they stand on the sideline and listen and everything, and they're just there. Happy to know that you're playing your part, moral support and everything you're giving him. And that went on right through his career until he retired. I'm very happy that to be part of it, to be, be his wife, and that he was able to get better working conditions and salaries, the wages and everything for people, because a lot of the people, the workers then, having been, going around and visiting and, because all of the fees used to be with them, so you're able to see the improvement. A lot of them were able to get their homes built and everything, so you know that he had been doing something. So I believe that he did a good job.
During his lifetime, George has been offered many political appointments. Some he refused, others he accepted. Today, George Weekes holds the post of the First Minister of State of Trinidad and Tobago, a position which has caused some controversy.
The invitation of the Prime Minister came after the crisis of July 27, 1990. I've always responded to crises worldwide, like Second World War. I volunteered, went to the battlefront, and offered my life. As one who was present in the Red House, was held captive, saw what took place for a short period before I was released, I thought it was my duty to respond positively, to give whatever moral support that was necessary, not just for the government, but for the people of my country. So I accepted the Prime Minister's invitation. More so as I looked at him during that period of captivity at the Red House, the courage he displayed under the gun, and the courage he showed after. I thought it would be amiss of me not to do that. So I'm proud to have served, and even if I'm the first, as I said, well, I'm even more proud of that fact.
I will be the last one to propose that George Weekes or anybody else should be denied an opportunity to make his own decision. But of course, one would look at the particular decision against a series of backgrounds, and I could only look at it against the background of the many struggles that he had led, the things that he taught so many of us, and the very fundamental positions that he had taken on national and international issues.
I know that he's in it because it is what he believes is best and the best contribution he could make at the time. What I think is unfortunate is that, when George retired from the union, I think that if we had to look at what his best contribution could have been, I suspect that if he had remained clear of politics, I mean of all parties, because I'm not saying he shouldn't be in this party, he should be in that party or so, but a non-partisan image, whatever his private loyalties might be, but a non-partisan image, because the labor movement to which he devoted so much of his life really needs and needed at the time the kind of figure who could pull all sides together. George alone had that kind of credibility because he had worked with the unions on the left and he was respected by the unions on the right as far as that divide is concerned. And so he could have been a very central figure in that.
This was an opportunity for me to influence the power structure from within the heart, so to say, where you must take decisions in the national interest, and by being present, I've been able to do a number of things and influence a number of people. That is not recorded, and deliberately so, because what you want to see is results. The nation is in crisis. And I remember how the Allies got together to fight Hitler and fascism. There were different ideological positions taken by the different governments, from the socialists in the Soviet Union to the capitalists in the United Kingdom. They got together in the crisis to defeat the fascist enemy. In Trinidad and Tobago, the NAR came together. A number of parties came together because they wanted to bring morality in public affairs.
George Weeks feels convinced that he must give his support to our present Prime Minister, who since 1966 has been fighting corruption.
He has paid the price of being dismissed by the head of his party at the time, Dr. Eric Williams, for the struggle he waged to introduce the Finance Act and against corruption. That make me feel strong, make me feel I should identify myself with Mr. Robinson, most as Prime Minister now, to wage a struggle with him for changes that are necessary in this country. You don't stay outside and bawl like certain people are doing and shout. They're doing when you have an opportunity that you could be within the heart of what is wrong and change it, because the cabinet itself must struggle with the forces outside that are selfish in order to change. And if I am given opportunity to join in that struggle to change all the evil that we have recognized throughout the years, by refusing to identify with that, I will be betraying not the workers but the country.
This is but a new stage in the life and times of this controversial character, George Weeks. What he will do from now on is left to be seen.
The Holy Bible, that you know, the voice of the people is the voice of God. So I listened to the voice of the people and responded. And even though my family suffered, I said that is part of my calling. And I'm happy and proud of it.
Men of mission rise to the occasion as they feel the stirrings within their society. George Weeks is such a man blessed with a vision, a strong faith, and a desire to fight for what he believed in. He carved a path for labor that time cannot erase.